Hey everyone, it's Keith Makse here. Thanks again for joining me on my channel, Power Up Personal Finance, where I get to talk about two of my favorite things, personal finance and games. So in this episode, what I'd like to talk about is your power team. The way I look at a power team is that they're at my adventuring group. Now, in normal adventuring groups, so let's pretend we're playing Dungeons and Dragons or World of Warcraft. There's four major roles that are actually going to be occurring here. Number one, you have your healer, or in cleric or priest, or somebody who's going to be able to take care of the party, the adventuring party itself. In this case, yourself. You're the primary adventurer here, and we got to take care of you. So you need your healer. Then you need your tank, the one who's going to be taking the damage and dealing some damage. You also need your wizard, who's going to be a major power player, somebody who's going to be able to do all kinds of damage and also all kinds of protections as well at the same time. And the fourth type is your rogue. So this is your sneaky character who's going to be able to uh, get into places where you normally can't, and also find some really great deals for you at the same time. So here's how I break down my power team or my adventuring party. So number one is my cleric. This is going to be my accountant. My accountant is my healer. The way I look at it is that instead of having hit points, I have dollars. And I need to make sure that I am not losing more dollars than I currently have, and that I can actually gain more over time. So my accountant is the person who's going to be able to find out decent tax saving strategies, so I'm not overpaying on my taxes. They're going to be the ones to help me protect my investments. Maybe I need to incorporate to shelter some of my rental properties into, which I haven't done yet. I don't think I'm currently at that point, but maybe one day I'll do that. And you protect your investments that way. You can protect them not only from taxes, but liabilities and other issues that may come up. And this is also the person who's going to be able to provide you with a good quality advice about how you're saving your money, how you're managing your money, and how you're spending your money. And this is a great person to have as the sort of the heart of your adventuring party. So number two is your warrior, your tank, your powerful fighter, as it were. And this person is going to be able to take damage, to deal damage, and to accomplish things along the way that you normally can't. This is going to be your general contractor. Now, the way I look at it is the general contractor is the warrior. Basically, they're there to follow your lead. They will protect your assets as you can. I've had a situation in the past where somebody was trying to steal some materials of mine that we had for a job, and my contractor basically he caught them red-handed. And this was a great guy to have on my team because he was able to scare them off. He reported it to me and we dealt with it immediately. And basically we had to take some precautions to prevent such a situation from happening again. But these things, unfortunately, if they happen, this was the perfect person to have because he was able to, let's say, frighten them appropriately without getting anybody into any kind of violence. But as my general contractor, he's also going to be responsible for dealing with any of the subcontractors that I'm going to be having as part of my expanded team, and he's going to manage them. He's going to make sure that if I needed a plumber or an electrician, that he governs them and he's able to get the work done that I need to do. And he's there again to not only protect me from any of those dangers, but also to help out. And he does a lot of the work as well. So this general contractor, he's my warrior, and I really appreciate that about him. Number three. So we have our wizard. Now the wizard is normally the one, they're a bit of a glass cannon as it's called, where they can deal a lot of damage, but they can't really take it. but my wizard's special. He can both deal it and take it, and he can redirect it in different ways. So this is my lawyer. My lawyer is a very integral part of my adventuring party. What he does is that he makes sure that anybody who's going to be causing any kind of issues, for instance, I have an issue right now with a tenant, not the tenant directly, but the neighbor, where they're taking a shared driveway and they're trying to prevent access to the tenant to allow them to park behind the property that they're renting from me. And this is actually illegal. They're blocking a right of way, and we have to deal with this. So it's a very fortunate thing to have a lawyer on your side to help guide you, so to speak, with creating an appropriate level response. You really have to balance out these situations sometimes between taking a very heavy-handed approach, but not wanting to instigate any kind of long-term rivalry between you and the property that you're with, at least in my case right now. So my lawyer is helping me navigate that, and it's a great thing to have, just somebody I can bounce those ideas off of. Plus, they can also assist out my cleric, my accountant. They speak a lot of the same language. They can help with the incorporation and the corporate assets that are going to be a part of that. I've used lawyers for that in the past. And then again, if you're taking any kind of damage, so in this case, if you're getting an attack by somebody else, whether it's a tenant, somebody else in the neighborhood, whomever it happens to be, this lawyer is going to be able to provide you with certain protections within their sphere of influence that they have with the law. And this is a very important thing too, because as soon as you have any kind of transaction or interaction with other people, I find that you're opening yourself to liabilities. It could be as simple as, your contractor who was going to handle the snow shoveling, or if it was your tenant and they decided not to, well, you as the landlord are still responsible for it. And if it doesn't get done and they slip and fall and hurt themselves, that's actually opening you up a whole can of worms in terms of liability upon you as the landlord. So it's really important to make sure that you have a landlord who's going to be helping you with tenant agreements, or even a paralegal who can also help you out with that, but help you out with the tenant agreements and help you make sure that you're protecting your assets as best you can. And when you need to, you can use them to cause a lot of damage. But, well, not damage, but what you can do is make sure that you have a very powerful force behind you to make sure that the law is upheld in your favor. If you're in the right, you want them to help you out with that. And finally, the last person on your adventuring team is going to be your rogue, your sneaky, stealthy master of the elusive arts, the ninja, if you will, of your party. They're going to be able to get into places where no one normally can, and that's going to be your realtor. So this is a really important person who, if they work with investors, and this is a strategy that you choose to follow for building your wealth in terms of real estate investment, this is a really important person, because they're going to be able to have the pocket deals, the pocket listings that are going to be out there. They're going to know a little bit more about the area, and if you have a good rapport with them and they know exactly what you're looking for, they will actually be able to go out and look for that. Or if they hear about it, they'll bring it to you first if you are ready to go and close on a deal, or they know that you're going to quickly close on deals. It's a really important person because as they say, you make money on the buy in real estate, and this is a person who's going to be looking out for number two, really. The number one is them, and they probably have a bunch of real estate investments, but they're also going to be looking out for you as well, because they know that another deal is going to be right around the corner. And so they might hear about some listing that nobody else knows about, or they can keep an eye out for those long overextended MLS listings that have been out for a year, maybe more, 6 months, and where you might be able to get a good deal on that property. You might have a seller who's tired and They just reached out. They never wanted to deal with a realtor, but now they do, in order to sell quickly rather than keeping a property around a long time, because it's very expensive to do that. So the way I look at it, the realtor is your rogue. They're going to be out to help you, and they're not going to be stabbing people and being an assassin and stealing all the treasures, but they're going to make the treasure more easily available to you. So that's my thought about the power team, as people call them, the adventuring party that you need to go out there and slay your dragons of debt and build your wealth. It's a very important thing to actually have those people to help guide you. And I think overall, beyond those four, the most important person that you can have as part of your team is your mentor, your wise sage, as it were. The person, on top of the mountain, who's going to be able to provide you with good quality, solid advice to help you go from where you're at now and to where you want to go, where you want to get to. It's really important to have that mentor. I know I've had multiple mentors throughout the years, and each one just adds on to that knowledge base. And like Warren Buffett says, the more you learn, the more you earn. And it's a very important saying, because you never stop learning. There's always more that you can do and always more that you can learn. And this mentor is going to be somebody to maybe not tell you everything, but they can help facilitate everything, even if it's just by opening your mindset to thinking about things differently than the way you already do. And I've seen so many people where, they went from having a few doors and rental properties to hundreds, literally over 100, and really changing the lives and the net worth of all these individuals who can now sit back and retire if they so choose, because they have earned their financial independence. And it's because of that mentor. They've already done it, and they want to give back to the people who are very much like themselves, or people who are very much interested in what they are. And, it's one of the reasons why I've taught in the past and I like teaching, is that, and I even do this YouTube channel, is because I want to give back. I may not know everything, and I know I don't know everything, but at the same time, the things that I do know, I want to make sure I have a way to express them and pass them forward. That knowledge, I think, is really important to give to other people, so that everybody can, learn and earn. So that's my thoughts about adventuring parties and your power team. I really appreciate you joining me here today on my channel. And again, for anybody who has any thoughts about their own personal adventuring party, how you would actually build that out, it would be great if you could just comment below and give me an idea of what you would like to do in terms of your adventuring party. Maybe you want to choose a different game style than sort of the traditional role-playing game sort of backbone of character classes that I've chosen. Maybe there's a different game system that you'd prefer. Maybe it's like Magic the Gathering in a card-based system, Pokemon, or anything else. It would be great if you can comment below and give me an idea of what you would like to see as your adventuring party. Who are the people who you want to travel with? And maybe you have some other ideas beyond the accountant, the lawyer, the realtor, and the general contractor, as well as the mentor. If there's somebody else that you add into your adventuring party, I'd love to hear it. And then in addition to that, if you could just please like and subscribe to the channel, it would be great. You'll hear about any other videos that are coming out down the road. And as well, anybody who does subscribe to the channel, I'm going to be depositing. By the end of this year, I've decided, I'm quite busy right now. I'm actually doing renovations on 2 properties. Plus, it's coming to the end of the year right now, the end of 2019. So I have a lot of stuff going on at work and a lot of stuff going on in my personal life. So I'm really quite busy. But I've decided over the holidays, over the Christmas break, that I'll be taking, I will be opening that account. I'll be opening it through Wealth Simple, so that we can actually see how that operates, and I'll walk through the entire entry process and how we do all that. Plus, I'll be funding the account with all $1 for every subscriber that I have, and I will keep that going up going forward. So anytime anybody joins this channel, I'll be putting $1 in there. We'll see how different investments work, and I'd love to see if we can get to the point where we could use that adventuring party to buy a property as part of all this investment strategy. So if you're able to help me out with that, I think that would be wonderful. And it's a way I can show you how you too can do this. So again, thank you very much. And until next time.